Right, so 7 over 8, this is, as I said before, this is June 2022. That's why you're heading up. 7 over 8 plus 1 over 6 divided by 2 over 9 straight on a calculator. Can someone give me the answer, please? Online, you can give it to her. Anybody get it? 1 and 5 over 8. Somebody needs to second this. Yeah? Online, you get this? Raise your hand if you get this online. Come in. No. You reach. Morning. No morning, afternoon. I need some other people to work on this. It can't be just one person telling me. We get that, Shania? Right. So the next one, we have 8 divided by 0.4 to the third power, right? So, I'm scrolling down, right? You can work it out on a calculator one time if you all want, or you can put 8 divided by and you do 0.4 to the third power. What is 0.4 to the power of 3? Huh? 0.4 multiplied by 0.4 multiplied by 0.4. You multiply 0.4 by itself 3 times. Somebody just give me again there.
0.064.
0.064. Somebody second that. Right, good. 8 divided by 0.064, please. Come on, we are moving faster. This is number 1, eh?
125.
125. Somebody second, third, fourth, and fifth this. Everybody good? Make sure you're getting these things on your calculator, Shana. Make sure they know how to work it. And if anybody not getting it, tell them all they're not getting it, right? So we move in. Now, if not this week, by next week, I want to make some videos showing you all like how to do these things on your calculator, right? So on your calculator, they said find the value of the square root of 26.8 minus 2.5 to the 3 over 2 power. And they want you to write your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So on your calculator, right, I want you to hit the square root button first, then put in 26.8, hit that, then hit the minus button, okay? Put 2.5, press 2.5, then you're going to raise it to the power, right? So that power knob on some calculators, you'll see, I think is y to the x power, right? Press that y to the x knob, or some people have this, it have a little hack, right? Whichever one is on your calculator, press that, and then you're going to press 3. You press the A and B over C knob, okay, to get the fraction. 3 A and B over C, 2, and then press equal, right? And tell me what you're getting here. 3.33. Somebody second that.
1, yeah.
3.33, right?
Yeah.
And this is to 2 decimal places. Everybody good there? Oh, this is question 1. I'll keep reminding all there. This is question 1 in our official CSEC paper. And I am so glad that I stopped and I come and start to do this. And I think from next year, I'm going to start to do that. For every vacation period, I'm going to start to do like probably what we did over the year, past paper questions now. Because all of us forget real bad fast, boy. Because look, this is question 1, you know. So children go to a rodeo during the Easter holiday. Miss Reka buys bananas and oranges for the children at the camp. Bananas cost $3.85 per kilogram, right? Per kilogram, that's what it costs, right? Miss Reka bought 25 kilograms of bananas and receives a discount of 12%. So after she she was supposed to pay, sorry, she didn't buy it. After she was supposed to pay $3.85 per kilogram, she came and get a discount of 12%, right? How much money does she spend on the bananas? So what I'm going to calculate is the cost before discount. That's what I'm going to call it, right? Before discount. Everybody good there? How would I calculate the cost before discount? Somebody tell me. 3.85, excellent. Multiply by excellent. $96.95. 25 cents. I am praying that your work is looking a little structured like this. 96.
CSEC missing.
Right, $96 and so let me write that out. Hold on. Just had something else in my head I want to tell you. $96.25. Now I need to calculate the discount, right? Can somebody please advise as to how I will calculate that discount? How much percent is the discount? So it will be 12 over multiplied by what was the cost before discount. $96.25. Can somebody please tell me what my discount would be? They work it out? Work it out. 12 over 100 multiplied by 96.25. Hey, look at that one next calculator here, no, bro. Take it now. At least you can do $11.55. Right? Cool? Everybody good there? But did they ask us for our discount? No. Did they ask us for our cost before discount? No. They asked us how much does she actually spend. So I could probably put this was the selling price. This is like the final price, which is what she actually paid for it. So my selling price will be, talk to me.
So is 96.25 take away 11.
Excellent, Makita. $96.25 minus my discount, which will give me how much did?
$84 on some cents.
Everybody good there? I'm reminding you all again, this is question 1. This is a question I'm supposed to run through. You ain't supposed to take no big set of time on this, right? Everybody get that there? 2 marks is in the bag, right? So we're moving on, scrolling on. Miss Rika spends $165.31 inclusive of a sales tax of 15% on oranges, right? So this already includes 15% tax, right? Calculate the original price or the price before the oranges. So let me show you all something. This price here, which is 165.31, okay, actually includes the 100%, which is the original price, plus the sales tax. How much percent is the sales tax? 15. So this 165 is actually 115%. Okay, go ahead.
Wasn't the answer $84.70?
So somebody tell me 84.7 cents. What is somebody correct me now?
Yes, $84.70.
70, thank you. Okay?
Oh, so can you get the same answer by just finding the 88%?
Yes, you can. Yeah. You just have to do 100 minus 12. And that's like 88% of the original cost. 0.07. If you get 0.7, then it's 70. Yeah. Right. So this is 115%. So look at something, or let's stay with me. If you want to get back the original price, you simply have to do 165.31 divided by, so I could put original price here. I should have put it original price. Okay? 165 divided by the 115%. That's how you'll get back what it costed before the tax, right? So somebody build this out for me. 165.31 divided by, if it's percent, it'll be 115 over what? 100. Cool? So what is it will be? Talk to me. Come, calculate. One what?
143.75.
143.75. $143.75. Talk to me. Second is still this. If your sales tax was 20% or 25%, and they said it was already included, they would simply divide by 125%. Because this price already includes the 100%, which is the original cost. Right? Everybody good there? Oh, it probably don't hook up to. There's only 5 it can hook up to. Right, so this is 2 marks. So I'm giving you all 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes. Let's go. 2 minutes, quickly. A time and all there. 2 minutes. Yeah, I can pause there. Right, there we go. The ratio of the number of bananas to the number of oranges is 2 to 4. So how many parts represent bananas? 2. How many parts represent oranges? 3. Furthermore, there are 24 more oranges than bananas. So what I need to calculate is how many parts more does oranges have than bananas. Now, if oranges have 3 parts and bananas has 2 parts, how many more parts does oranges have? Anybody? Bananas have 3, oranges have 3, bananas have 2. How many more parts does oranges have? So oranges have 1 part more than bananas. So what this means is that 1 part is actually equal to 24 because there are 24 more oranges than bananas. So that 1 part is represented by 24. I told you all when we did ratios that the objective of ratios is to find out how much 1 part is. Once you find out how much 1 part is, you can find out how much 2 parts are, how much 3 parts are. You can flex however you want to flex. So they want to know calculate the number of bananas Miss Rika bought. So how many parts represent bananas? You can't spell bananas. How many parts represent bananas?
1 part.
1 part represents bananas. Somebody want to second that?
Says not 2.
2. 2 parts. I asking you the most trivial questions here. No? Look at right here. It's bananas to oranges. So this first number here is bananas, and the second number would be oranges, right? So bananas would be 2 parts, right? So 2 parts would be equal to 2 multiplied by how much is 1 part?
So the answer is 48.
How much is 1 part?
24.
So therefore, 2 parts would be 48 bananas. Well, this is question 1. I just reminded all there. No, the order doesn't matter. So I'm going to run through it one more time. All right. So 8x squared plus bx plus c is the it is quadratic form, right? You want to take this quadratic and factorize it. What we're going to do, you're going to multiply 5 at the front here by 4 at the back here. When you multiply 5 by 4, you get 20. So let me show you. So you're multiplying 5 by 4 to get 20. Cool? When you get that 20 now, you take the number that is in the middle, which is -9, and you write it underneath here. So we're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to give us positive 20, and the same 2 numbers must add or subtract to give us -9. -5 minus 4 gives us -9. Everybody good there? You replace -9. So it's like you replace the -9x with -5x minus 4x. This works out to be this, right? So the equation in its essence is not changing, right? Okay, so -5x minus 4x is replaced there. When you have 4 terms, you'll clearly said it, you factorize 2 at a time. Cool? So you factorize the first 2. What could go into 5x squared and 5x? It will be 5x. 5x into 5x squared gives me x. Then 5x into -5x gives me -1. You bring down the sign in the middle here, which is negative, right? 4 is the only thing that could go into 4x and 4. -4 into -4x leaves me x. Then -4 into +4. A negative into a positive is a negative. And then what these two brackets form the first bracket, and what is in front of this bracket here, which is 5x, and what is in front of this bracket here, which is 4, negative 4, forms the second bracket. This is complete factorization. Now, the next part of the question is to hence solve. So when you all see the word hence, more than likely we are using the answer from the question before. So what I would have now is I could put therefore, x minus 1 by 5x minus 4 is going to be equal to 0, right? Because these two brackets is actually this quadratic in a different form. At this point here, you branch off into two answers. Where I get 4 from, right? Is equal to 0. Right? Is equal to 0. So you branch off into two brackets. X minus 1 is equal to 0, and then 5x minus 4 is equal to 0. Everybody good there? That's how I'll go back up. Let's finish this one. So when I carry minus 1 here, what do I do to it? So it'll be 0 plus 1, which is positive 1. And then what I do with this negative 4, and I bring it here. Right? So 5x is equal to 0 plus 4, which is 4. And what do I bring with 5 when I bring it here? So it'll be 4 over 5 is the value of, well, my two values of x. One will be 1, and the next one will be x is equal to 4 over 5. So I'm going to, what are we moving first? Excellent. You have to move this because you cannot work with this in the denominator position, right? When I carry this to the side, what do we do with it? When we carry it to the left, what do we do? So it'll be W multiplied by V minus 3 is equal to 5 plus V. You multiply W into the brackets, right? Right, excellent, excellent. So it'll be WV minus W multiplied by 3 is that's 3W, right? Is equal to 5 plus V. Now we need to get everything with V on one side and carry the 3W on this side, right? So this will be WV minus V. Plus V becomes minus V is equal to 5 minus 3W becomes plus 3W. Now we can proceed to factorize out the V. When we factorize out the V, you'll have V open brackets. V into WV gives me W, and V into V is 1, but it will be minus 1 is equal to 5 plus 3W, right? Now we take the W minus 1, carry it to the side, and what do we do with it? You divide because multiplication is understood here. So V is equal to 5 plus 3W divided by W minus 1. Is V now the subject of the formula? Yes, it is. Should I make corrections? You do anything like this? Make corrections. The height h of an object is directly proportional to the square root of its perimeter P, right? The square root of its perimeter P. So write an equation showing the relationship between h and P. Now, once it is directly proportional, right, we take in h and we say it's directly proportional to the square root of P, right? Meaning that they are two related, right? So we go in. It's not inversely related. If it was an inverse relation, it'll be 1 over the square root of P. So watch it. This implies that the formula would be h is equal to some constant k. It's always k. It's always some constant k multiplied by the square root of P, right? Now, the whole mission here is to show this equation, which is this. The only thing I don't need to do here is I don't need to put the multiplication sign because multiplication is understood, right? This is the formula. H is directly proportional to the square root of P. Saying it again, the height is directly proportional to the square root of P implies this formula. H is equal to some constant, we don't know what K is, multiplied by square root of P. Now we're going to work to find K. Now look at the first part of this question here. Given that H is equal to 5.4 and P is equal to 1.44, determine the value of H when P is 2.89. Now what you must do is you must find K first. Have to find K first, right? So we have H, we have P. Let's substitute it into this equation above here. So H would be equal to K by square root P. Let's plug in. So instead of putting H, what do I put here? Excellent. Is equal to K by square root of, instead of putting P, what do I put? Instead of putting P, 1.44, because they said, given that H is this, when P is done. So this is the first part of the question here. This is what we're going to use in order to find K. All right? So what do I do? Well, you can find the square root of 1.44. Where again there? 5.4 is equal to K by what? What's the square root of 1.44?
Plus or minus 1.2.
1.2 flat? 1.2?
Yeah.
1.2. Right? Now you can carry 1.2 here and you do the opposite of multiply, which is 2. So 5.4 divided by 1.2 would give me what? This is equal to K. What is K?
4.5.
4 point. So what is second is? 4.5 is equal to K? Check it there. 5.4 divided by 1.2. 4.5?
So question is plus or minus when you...
We're not using any plus or minus here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, use that.
Yes, sir. 4.5.
4.5, right? Good. So we go in. So we found K. So watch it. Therefore, my equation that links H to P would be H is equal to, instead of putting K, I'm going to put 4.5 square root P. Now, they want us to determine the value of H when P is this. So I'm just going to put here when P is equal to 2.89, H would be equal to 4.5 multiplied by the square root of 2.89. Calculate that on my calculator, please, and tell me what's the value of H.
7.65.
7.65. Everybody good there? 7.65. Question is done. Right, give me the answer. Let's build out the answer for number 1. 1 and 4 over 7 divided by 2 over 3. 107? 1 and 1? 9 over?
9 over 14.
9 over 14. So on your calculator, you simply punch in 1 and 4 over 7 divided by 2 over 3 minus 1 and 5 over 7. Right? You press equal. Go never again. Nah, something wrong. Yeah, well, do the first part. Somebody give me the answer for the first part. When I do 1 and 4 over 7 divided by 2 over 3, because they obviously have to divide before you minus. What you get to when you divide this? Anybody?
2 and 5 over 14.
2 and 5 over 14, right? So you get 2 and 5 over 14 minus 1 and 5 over 7. And when you do this now, you're supposed to get the 9 over 14. Somebody confirm this. Everybody get 9 over 14? Huh? Bring it. Come quick. So when Megan started working, she was paid $85 per week. After a 6-month probationary period, her pay was increased to 20%. Well, by 20%, sorry. How much was she paid after the increase, right? So she was paid $85 each week. Okay, so how much she was paid each week? So we just calculated the weekly increase, right? So what would be the increase? How much would be the increase itself? Increase, what am I multiplying? 20
over 100 multiplied by 85 over 1.
Which will give me what? 70? 17, sorry.
17.
Right? So her wage. So this is the wage after increase would be 85 plus 17, which will be 102, right? That good there. Well, it's supposed to be good there. That's very simple, right? 1 mark alone for that. Okay?
So you can also just on 120%, right?
Yeah, I know, very correct answer. Right, so this is some marks here. 4 marks are all these parts here, right? So let's go. So this should be all I had, right? But I just want you all to see how much minutes it does actually get for these things. In 1985, the population of a country A was 2,714,000. Right, 714,000. In 2015, the population was 3,663,900. Write the population in 2015 correct to 3 significant figures, right? So 2015 is 3663900. Which number here is the third significant figure? This 6 here, right? This is the third. So your lock-off is after this. Is the number after the lock-off 5 or greater? No. So I'm going to put the 366, which are the 3 significant figures, and everything after the lock-off changes to a 0, right? So this will actually be 3,660,000 to 3 significant figures, right? Simple as that. Write the population in 1965 to, well, in standard form. Standard form, we need to move the decimal point, which is at the back here, to the right of the first significant figure. What is the first significant figure here? Which number is the first significant figure? 2, right? So we want to get our decimal point here. So we move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will become 2.714000 multiplied by 10 to the power of how many times I move my point. If you're moving a point to the left, it's a positive power. If you're moving to the right, it's negative. How many times I move my point? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. Right? Everybody good there? Standard form and significant figures as part 1. Determine the percentage increase in the populations from 1965 to, so in order to determine the population increase, you must determine the increase itself, right? If you want to determine the percentage increase, we must determine the increase. So how much did it increase by, right? The increase would be 3900 minus 2714000. How much did it go up by? Well, then we'll go there yet. So what we doing all this time by? Where you getting Kyle?
949900.
949900.
That's how much it increased by. I know the percentage. I wasn't sure about my percentage, but I get 25%.
All right, that's it. 9949900, right? Now, anytime I want to find out percentage increase or decrease, it will be the percentage increase in this case over, it's always over the initial amount. Initial being the starting amount. What was the starting amount? 271,400 multiplied by 100. 110, right? And when we multiply this, somebody give me my percentage increase.
35%.
35% flat?
Yeah.
35%. Proper thing. Proper thing. Start reading next one by meanwhile. Next ratios question here. CSEC love these ratios questions. This is 2 marks. So I ain't giving you 2 minutes now, 1 minute. Last one here, 1 minute. So the ratio of teachers to male students to female students in a school is 3 to 17 to 18. Now mark some questions. How many parts represent teachers? How many parts represent male students? How many parts represent female students? The marks our next question. How many parts represent students in total? 30 how much? 35. Everybody saw that? Right. So 35 parts is going to represent that 630 they put. Because they said if the total number of students in the school is 630, they said, look how they bolded. CSEC bolded the total number of students. So that means that 30 how much did I say? 35 parts is equal to 630. Now they want you to determine the number of teachers, but how many parts represent teachers? So if I can find how much one part is, I can find how much 3 parts are. So if 35 parts is 630, it will be one part will be?
630 divided by 35.
So one part is?
17, 18, sorry.
18?
Yeah. You calculate now, on the top of my head.
Calculated or was on the top of your head?
I calculated, but I don't just calculate on the top of my head.
Yeah, it was there. Let me go. So one part is 18. I can find anything now. Once I find out what one part is, Shania, I can find out anything now. So we're going to pump for 3 parts. It's just 3 parts we have to find. So I can just put therefore 3 parts would be equal to 3 multiplied by 18, which would be how much? 34? 54? 54 teachers. Okay, good to go. Yum, 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 yum. Come, like, I ready. There we go.
So this is not actually a past date that you bring up it?
Yeah, it really is, yeah? Yeah, let me go. Quantities. The 2 quantities, N and T, are related as follows. So this is the equation that relates N to T. There's no K here because it's not a direct or inverse. It's not directly or inversely proportional, right? So find the value of N when T is 49. So N will be equal to the square root of T, which is N is equal to, make T the subject of the formula. So if N is equal to the square root of T, and I want to make T the subject, I need to do the opposite of square root here, which is 2. N squared is equal to, talk down. Part 1. So Ali is X years. Jim is 5 years older than Ali. Chris is twice as old as Ali, right? So they tell everybody age on top here already, right? We started with Ali. Ali's X, right? Write expressions in terms of X for Jim's age and Chris's age, right? So there we go. Jim. How old is Jim? 15. When you get 15 from his X plus 5, right? Ali is X. Jim is 5 years older than Ali. So it'll simply be X plus 5. Cool? We go into Chris now. Chris is twice as old as Ali. So what Chris' age will be? 2x. Simple. This is food, you know. 2 marks. In 2 years' time, the product of, look at how this word is, bro. In 2 years' time, the product of Ali's age and Chris's age will be the same as, so like the first thing you'll think is that's 2 plus the product of their age, but it's actually not, right? So let me deal with Ali first. So Ali would be X plus 2. Everybody agrees? Because that's what her age will be in 2 years' time. And then Chris's age will be 2x plus 2. Boom. And that's equal to binomial expansion. Whoa. Whoa, please get dark one time, yes?
I'm still just trying to go for the question, you know. In 2 years' time, Ali and Chris will be Ali's age plus 2 by 15.
So yeah, the square X plus 5 so.
I don't like the wording in this question. The wording in this question, I don't like it. So there you go. This by this and this by this. Boom. Right? Then this and this by, say that again?
You have to square Jim's age on the right.
Yeah, the square X plus 5
right.
so
And we square Jim's age, right? This is real working by. Okay? Everybody good there? This is plenty working. So there we go. We had a square Jim's age. So we go in. X multiplied by 2x would give me. X multiplied by 2 would give me 2 multiplied by 2x will give me 2 2s are. Then binomial expansion on this side again. Boom, bang. You see me here, Shania? This is real working. Anyway, it's 3 marks. I know see this 3 marks. Which I get in. Right. This by this and this by this. Right, Kyle? Good there? So like go x by x would be, and then x by 5 would be, then 5 by x would be, and then 5 5s are. Right, boom. So we're going, let me add up everybody together and then we'll start a move now. Or you want to start a move one time? All right, let me go. It'll be 2x squared plus 6x plus 4. Everybody good there? Yeah, add the x's together. Is equal to x squared plus 10x plus 25, right? So we start to move everything. This coming here, everything coming on this side. Everything coming here. So there we go. This will be 2x squared. I put the x squared together one time. This will be minus x squared plus 6x minus 10x plus 4 minus 10 is equal to 0. Everybody good there? Right? So there we go. Where I get 10 from? 5. 25, right? There we go. 2x squared minus x squared will give me x squared. 6x minus 10x will give me negative 4x. And then 4 minus 25 will give me negative 21 is equal to 0. This here would be what they asked us to show then.
Easy equation.
Right. Show that the equation x squared plus minus 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. And that's what we showed. X squared minus 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. So here I want you all to do. So the positive answer of x will be correct. So you need to solve this quadratic equation. You'll get 2 values for x. There's no such thing as a negative x. Right? So, negative 8, sorry. So the positive answer will be your answer. So we need to solve it though. We need to. Right, so we're writing it out. X squared minus 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. What number is understood in front of this x squared? Anybody? What number is understood in front of this x squared?
1.
Right? So watch it. 1 here. So I'm multiplying. This is actually an e, right? So I'm multiplying the sign. I got that. Right. So you're multiplying 1 by negative 21. 1 multiplied by negative 21 will give me negative 21. And then you bring down the negative 4. Are there any 2 numbers I can multiply to give you negative 21 and the same 2 numbers can add or subtract to give me negative 4? What numbers are you looking at? Negative 7 and positive 3. Does it work? Negative 7 multiplied by 3 will give me negative 21. And then negative 7, I hear something like noise. Just under you? Low. Right? Negative 7 plus 3 is equal to negative 7 plus 3. Anybody? Negative 4. So it works, right? Okay, Kia? It works. So we're going to plug in now. So I'm going to replace, I come in the corner here because I have a feeling I might need space, right? So I'm going to put back the x squared minus 7x plus 3x minus 21 is equal to 0. So we factorizing 2 at a time. Everybody agree? Factorizing 2 at a time. Because it's 4 terms, right? So what could go into x squared and 7x? X. X into x squared will give me x into 7x will give me 7 minus 7, right? What could go into, well, I bring down the plus here. What could go into 3x and 21? 3. Excellent. 3 into 3x will give me x. And then 3 into negative 21 will give me negative 7. Now, guys, if at this point your two brackets are not the same, you did something wrong, you got to check it over. So, the two brackets that are the same become one bracket. And then this will be x plus 3. And this will be equal to 0. So we have two sets of answers we're going to write out here. But remember, I told you we cannot have a negative age because somebody age you're trying to calculate it. So this one will be x plus 3 is equal to 0. X will be equal to, when positive 3 goes here, what it becomes? 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So you put in not possible. Right? Here now, x minus 7 is equal to 0. X will be equal to, when I carry negative 7 here, what it becomes? 0 plus 7 is 7. So therefore, Ali's present age is Ali, which is x, and Ali was x. I'm sure Ali was just x, and right, Ali was just x. So Ali's present age is 7 years. That's a baby. Right? Question done. Yeah. 2019, number 1. Right? Work on the top. Where you get when you work on the top? Anybody? Give me the answer for the numerator, which is 2 1/4 minus 1 3/5. 13 over 20 is the answer for the numerator, right? Divided by 3. What we get?
1360.
13 over 60. Everybody get this? Correct. Full marks, right? 2. And let's divide by 3. Let's press divided by 3. 2.14 right. Multiply by sine 75. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. What you all getting here? Let's give me the answer straight up. It's 1 mark. 2.107. Right. Top done. There you go.
So right now degrees?
Huh?
Degrees?
No. Yeah, this is a degree sign here. But this answer is not degrees.
So how you gotta answer on the calculator?
You press 2.14 and then you press multiply, then you press sine, and then you press 75. You don't need to press. Irma's take-home pay is $4,320 per fortnight, which is every 2 weeks. Everybody know a fortnight means every 2 weeks, right? Each fortnight, Irma's pay is allocated according to the following table. So rent is X, food is that, other living expenses, etc., savings, then your total. What is Irma's annual take-home? Assume that she works for 52 weeks in any given year. So if every 2 weeks she's making $4,320, the first thing we need to find out is how many fortnights in a year. Fortnights in a year. Excellent.
How much?
26. Because if it's 52 weeks in a year, to be 52 divided by 2, because it's every 2 weeks is a fortnight, and this will give me 26. 26, this is equal to 26 fortnights. All right? Now, how much is she making per fortnight?
2 weeks.
Right, so this is your annual take-home pay, annual salary. So 4,320 multiplied by 26 will give me how much? How much is that making for the year here? Perfect. Food. Let's call this question food.
I see why it's 1 mark now.
Yeah, it's 1 mark. Determine the amount of money that Irma allocates for rent each month. Right? Determine the amount. Right, I hope we all proceeded to form your equation. Can somebody tell me how this equation is? Look, we have to form an equation. Anybody, how this equation going to look? Is each month we're dealing with, right? So we're dealing with 2 fortnights in each month, okay? So, but you know, we could find x first and then find 2x. Let me find x. What equation would be here? Anybody? I'm going back up. X plus 629. All right, so let me go. So it'll be x plus 629 plus 2x plus 1750 is equal to 4320.
Yeah.
Anybody had this? Raise your hand if you had this online. Let me see if any online people had it. 4320. Anybody had this first step here? This is the equation that needed to be formed. Only Singh, Avely had it, Preston, okay, a few people had it. So let me go. What can be added together here? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. X plus 2x is how much x? X plus 2x. Huh? No, that's multiplied. We have one apple, you add 2 apples, so you get 3 apples, right? So it's 3x plus 629 plus 1750. Anybody online? 2,300 is equal to 4320, right? So I need to solve this for x. What do I need to move here? What are we moving first? What are we moving first here? Macha, what are we moving first here? No. Anybody? B? No, what are we moving to x? So we want to find x? Hey, all of this is the most trivial things that I have here now. What are we moving first here? We want to find x. Right? 2,379. When we carry it here, what are we doing with it? So it'll be 4320 subtract 2379. So 3x will be equal to 1,941. Somebody second that. Somebody second that. Come on, we gotta get them fingers moving, you know. Right now we in snail mode, you know. Snail mode right now, you know.
Yeah.
Huh? What we doing with the 3 now?
Yes, sir.
1941 divided by 3, x will be equal to how much? $647. But remember, it's each month.
Divided by 3, right?
Yeah. Each month. So that is his rent for a fortnight. So therefore, monthly rent will be equal to 647 multiplied by 2, which is equal to. Come on, let's put that thing for me long time, you know how much this is. 1294. Right? That's how much it's gonna be. So is question 1 done? No. Still have things to do. Right? So those who have to copy it. Right.
She's saving a year, right?
She's saving 1750 per fortnight, right? Look at here. Remember, this is a fortnight breakdown, right? 1750 per fortnight. We calculated 26 fortnights in a year. This is fortnights in a year. It's actually 26, right? Scrolling down. So savings to the year would be 1750 multiplied by 26, which is 45,500. So the minimum number of years would be equal to 150,000 divided by 45,500. How much am I getting here? You're getting 3 point something. Right. So they ask for the minimum number of years, right? She must work in order to save enough money to cover her son's tuition. So what's the minimum amount of years?
So does that mean they want the decimal value? Or?
No, they want the minimum amount of years she has to save for. It'll be 4. Right? So we get 3 point what? 3 point, give me 3 point what?
3.39.
3.2,
But 3.2.
right, it's 4. Because what something is not an approximation, because it's 3.29. So if you approximate this, you actually approximate it to 3. But it means if you save for 3 years, you don't make up enough money. You have to save for a whole extra year before the child could go to university. So therefore, it would be 4 years.
Yes, please.
She needs to save for. Right? Sorry, I'm just working on something here. All right. Multiply the numbers. 3 multiplied by 4 would be. And what do you do with the powers when the bases are the same and we are multiplying? Add. So it'll be 2 plus 5. So this will be 12p to the power of 7. Boom, bang. Right, next one. What we do when we add a divide like this? Invert and multiply. So let me put what we inverted into one time. So it'll be 3x over 4y to the third power multiplied by 20y squared all over 21x squared. Cross multiplied. What we could say here, let me do it one time now. 3 into 21 is x to the first power into x to the second power will actually leave me just x. Right? Y to the second power into y to the third power would leave me with y. Right? But the y coming underneath, right? 4 into 20 is 5. So let me see what's going on top. 5 alone is in the numerator position. Underneath we'll have y multiplied by 7x, which will be 7xy. So done. Right? Right? So in order to solve this, I have to find the product of the two denominators, as I said. So it'll be x by 7x minus 1. Yeah, go ahead now. Right. You need to put equal to 0 on this side, right? So watch it. 7x minus 1 into this entire denominator is like the 7x minus 1 cancels, and you have to multiply 3 by x. So you get 3 multiplied by x, which is 3x plus x into this entire thing would be 7x minus 1. So you take the denominator and multiply it by 7x minus 1. Okay? So 1 by 7x minus 1 is just 7x minus 1. Okay? 1 by anything is that term itself. Okay? So what we could do at this point here is 3x plus 7x would be 10x. Then you have the minus 1. And what's something? You see this whole thing? If you carry it here, right? 0 multiplied by anything as well. 0. So I could simply just move that denominator to the next side. So it'll be 0 multiplied by this whole thing, which will be x by 7x minus 1. But 0 multiplied by anything would be 0. So this is simply 10x minus 1 is equal to 0. What am I moving next? Excellent. Negative 1 becomes positive 1. So you have 10x is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. Then you're taking 10 and divide it here, and what that becomes? 1 over 10. Talk done. Talk is done. Why? Food. Food we just call this, right? So we're going slowly. When a number x is multiplied by 2. So if I take a number x and multiply by 2, x multiplied by 2 is the same as writing what? Boom. 2x, right? Then the result is squared, right? So the result here is squared to give a new number, which is, so did I express y in terms of x? Meaning, do I have y is equal to something that involves x? We can square the two things inside here, because once you have a squared outside the bracket, it's the same as like 2 squared by x squared is equal to y. 2 squared will be 4. So it's actually 4x squared is equal to y. Right? You didn't need to do this. This is sufficient. Again, your full marks here, your full 1 mark. Right? Then they said, determine the two values of x that satisfy the equation y is equal to x and the equation derived in CR1, right? In C part 1, sorry. So you actually have a pair of simultaneous equations, which will be y is equal to x. This is equation 1. And then you have, I put in y first, right? Y is equal to x squared. This is equation 2. Everybody good there? So if y is equal to x and y is equal to 4x squared, you can just take 4x and equate it to x. You realize that? Therefore, 4x squared upon the bigger, well, the larger term is equal to x. Right? What's what I can do? I can bring the x here. This is plus x. It becomes minus x when we move it to the left. So the 4x squared minus x is equal to, if I move x on the right, what remains there? 0. Quadratic. You all seen as a quadratic? When you have a quadratic where c is 0, what you can simply do is factorize out the x. You all seen that? X into 4x squared will be equal to what? 4x. X into 4x squared will give me 4x. Then x into negative x is negative 1. This is equal to 0. So you have two answers here now. X is equal to 0 and the bracket is equal to 0. So you have x is equal to 0 and then 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. Carry the minus x, sorry, the minus 1 there. 4x is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. Carry 4 here. X is equal to 1 divided by 4. What did they ask us for? Determine 2 values of x. We good to go? 2 values of x here. Y'all, thank you very much.